Today, we're going to talk about the top 3 things to focus on in order to have long-term success in your direct sales business. Today, we're going to talk about the top 3 things to focus on in order to have long-term success in your direct sales business. So let's talk about it. What should be the top 3 things that you should focus on in your direct sales business in order to have long-term success? And it doesn't really matter if you are new in the business or if you are someone who has been in your direct sales company for a long period of time, or maybe you've been in multiple direct sales companies. These 3 tips will work for you. All right, so the first one is you've got to build your belief. You have to build your belief in the fact of you can do this. And so it's important to build the belief in you. And a lot of times confidence just comes from doing. It doesn't matter what career you may have ever, pursued in the past. You know that your first day on the job, you kind of feel like not really confident. And as you learn the different steps that you need to take, it is important that you don't just learn them, that you take those steps. And in the process of doing, you will become more confident. And, reach up to your mentor above you and get ideas or tips on what you should do next in your business in order for you to get long-term success with your direct sales company. It's also important that you build belief in your product. And how do you do that? By using your products. If your products are healthcare or health products, make sure that when someone opens up your medicine cabinet, that they're going to see those vitamins, those supplements that you are sharing with the world, that those are the things that you yourself use. If you are in the beauty business, which I am, and my company focuses on skincare and color cosmetics, I make sure that I am head to toe with the products that I promote to others. So it's real important that you find products in your company that work for you and that you believe in enough that that's what you use. And if there's any other products in your household that basically would compete with the company you represent, I would highly encourage for you to kind of like have Mr. Trash Can come and visit those and ditch them and find products in your company that work for you. And finally, you need to have belief in your company. And the best way to do that is to go into the company's website, or maybe they might have a book or something that they have published, and really understand who created this company. Who are the leaders in this company? What does the company stand for? What are the things that the company, do they help other good causes? Do they have charities that they support? And make sure those align with what works for you. So when you understand your company, your leaders, and you understand how awesome your product is because that's what you use, and you take the tips and ideas that you are receiving from your leaders and they are sharing how they moved up the career path in their company, take their advice and start doing it, because when you start doing it, you start gaining confidence. So number 1 is build belief in yourself. Number 2, be consistent. Oh, that's so important. Sometimes when we approach our business, we have more of a Zoom eager way of working. In other words, we're so excited, we're so empowered. We attended a get together, an event, a meeting, and all of a sudden we want to zoom, 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 and do big things in our business. And then all of a sudden we go, eek, and we stop for a week or we stop for a month. And they were like, I really need to do more. And so you get yourself excited, you get yourself motivated, and you go zoom, 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 zoom. And then eek, and then you stop for a while. And what happens is, if you can imagine in the airport, the people movers, or I don't even know what that's called, but the thing you stand on and it kind of moves you. Okay. Well, here's the thing. If you are walking in your business and you are working in your business and you're on one of those, you are going to be making steady progress. You're moving forward. But if you just stop, you're going to go backwards. And that's because you're not consistent. It's so important that you find a time each day that you do a little bit in your business. You touch your business a little bit. Go and look at your compensation plan. Look at the marketing plan of the company and identify, where do you make the most money? Where do you make the most traction? What activities and what things can you focus on that's going to give you the bigger results? Now, I've heard of great things called a power hour. A power hour is every day you pick an hour of your day that you do nothing but focus on those top things that make the most traction and the most money in your company. And you just focus on it. Now, I will tell you, I like better the daily method of operation. And with my business, that would be get a new appointment scheduled each day. It would be share the opportunity, the career opportunity each day with someone. And it would be reach out and connect with a customer, reach out and connect with someone that you want to share some information with about your product. And you just do those 3 steps every day. You basically get a booking on your date book for an upcoming appointment to showcase your product. Okay, maybe that could be a party. Maybe that could be just be a one-on-one appointment. It is also share the opportunity with someone, and that could be, it could be sharing a video or maybe a hotline or maybe in person. I mean, whatever your company recommends, maybe it is to add someone to an ATM or an ad tag message Facebook group. Whatever your leaders are recommending on how to share the opportunity with someone that from your company, do that once a day. Okay. So book an appointment, whether it's a group like a party or something individual. It is to share the opportunity using one of the suggested methods from the leaders in your company. And the third one is reach out and share with a customer. It could be someone that you just want to reach out and let them know about maybe something new and fabulous that your company is showcasing. So when you reach out to those people, one thing at a time, that one appointment, one share, and one. When you do that every day, guess what happens at the end of the month? You would have shared the opportunity with 30 people. You would have added 30 appointments to your books and your date book, and you would have reached out to 30 customers and letting them know what the newest and greatest thing your company has to offer. And so it's not doing big things, it's doing small things every day, every day, every day, every day, every day, as if it is part of the habit of your daily way of living. If every morning you get up and brush your teeth, and every morning you jump in the shower, or every morning you get a cup of coffee or a Diet Coke, whatever your vice of choice for caffeine is, and you don't even think about it, you just kind of go from point A to point B as you're doing those different things, that's a habit. That is something you have created that's automatic. So what you want to do in order to be consistent is you want to create an automatic habit in your business that you can grab, take hold of, and run with it. And I just want to remind you guys, it's so exciting when you join your direct sales company and your brain is going 24/7. You're like thinking about it all the time and how exciting and all the potential. And then sometimes we get busy, we get out of whatever, we were Zooming for a while, and now something happened and we can't Zoom. And so now our brain just fills up full of guilt. Like, oh my gosh, I should be doing this. I should be doing that. You know what? Don't should all over yourself, girls. Should all over yourself, guys. Whoever is in that direct sales company, don't make yourself feel guilty for what you're not doing, because sometimes we can have brain burnout simply because all we do is think about our business, and we confuse brain burnout and consistent and constant thinking about it as, I'm spending too much time, this is taking too much time, when you're really not doing anything. Okay, just get a habit. And if you are like questioning based on the company that you're with, what would be the top 3 things to do each day that would move you forward, and you don't really necessarily know what that would be, reach out to your mentor, reach out to your leaders, and tell them that you have a goal and what things should you be consistently doing on a daily basis that doesn't feel overwhelming, that will move you consistently up the career path. Now, I can tell you, I've been in direct sales 30 years. I can tell you that that is probably my key. I just kind of get fixated on doing something, and I just do it over and over and over and over because I don't have to think about it. I just know it's on my things to do list. I check it off and I go about my business and live my life. And so when you are consistently doing specific things each and every day, they add up. And that is cool. So the first thing is build your belief in yourself, your product, and your company. The second thing is be consistent and really focus on creating a habit of something you can do each day that will move you forward. And the third one is to have a goal. Guys, I talk to so many people so many times. They're like, you know what? I'm just going to see what happens. I'm going to just work and whatever happens, happens. Well, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Absolutely nothing. You are maybe thinking a lot about your business, but your business isn't moving forward because you have to have a target to move towards, right? Because if you don't, you're just kind of like, just kind of stuck. And if someone reaches out or talks to you about your business, sure, you're open to talking to them about it, but you are basically being reactive to see if anybody contacts you versus being proactive and making the decision that there are things that you're going to work for. Now, you're saying to yourself, well, I'm afraid if I set a goal, I'm going to fail. Okay. But here's the thing, you don't fail until you quit. When you quit, that's when you fail. It's okay. Anybody who's been very successful, I can guarantee you they had lots of fails along the way, because a lot of times people look at having a goal as like they're going down the road and they're working towards the goal, and then all of a sudden they curve and they failed, or they went down the road and they curved and they succeeded, and they don't want to take the wrong road. But let me tell you, the secret is that when you go down the road, you have to sometimes go through failures in order to have successes. That's how it works. That's how it works, guys. You cannot be successful unless you fail along the way. That's just the way it works, because you have to get past the learning curve. You have to figure out the ways that things work, the ways, the ways you tried it and it didn't work. And that's all part of the process as growing as an entrepreneur. So you need every month to have a target, and those targets need to add up to, like, where will you be celebrated at your year-end awards for your company? Where are you going to be celebrated? And in order to do that, you got to take those little bites along the way. Okay. So have a target, have a goal. It could be some type of rewards or recognition from the company that you're shooting for. Maybe you're wanting to promote yourself up the career path of your company's leadership, or maybe you have a goal of taking your family to Disney World, or having a swimming pool installed in your backyard for your kids or grandkids to play in. It could be, I want a whole new kitchen. It could be anything your heart desires. And then you need to look at the compensation plan. Have maybe a meeting with your mentor, your leader, and say, what do I need to do? Where do I need to focus? What do I need in order to be able to do this goal that I have for myself, my family, and what types of things do I need to accomplish, create, and complete in order to hit this goal? And when you do that, you now have your why. So I want to challenge everybody who's watching this to build your belief, okay, to be consistent in your business. And I really think the most important is have a goal and break it down into those bite-sized pieces that you work on each month, and you work on each week, and you work on each day. Find that habit, be consistent, and you can accomplish anything your heart desires within your direct sales business. All right. So my last thing I want to say is, if I could give you a gift, and if I had a magic wand and I could just bop you on the head and make you successful, I would give you the gift of being able to dream again. When we are young, we are full of dreams, what we want to be when we grow up, where we want to live, what our life is going to look like, because nothing in our brain is holding us back. But as we get older and we live through life and we get disappointments, and maybe we didn't, go the right direction we wanted to go as we become adults, we quit dreaming because we start just accepting what life is willing to give to us. And if I had a magic wand, I would end up giving each and every one of you who is listening to this right now, I would give you the ability to dream again and to create and design the life that you deserve to live, because you can do it. You can do it. You got to put the effort forward. You got to have a target, but you can do it. Believing in you. And those are, believing in you that you can be and do anything your heart desires. And so I want to congratulate you for watching this video. And I hope that you decide to subscribe, maybe share this video with someone else that you think this might be good for, and like it. Okay? Have a great week, and we will see you next time on our next video. Bye.